Okay, with a whole bunch of grunting and growling and whatever, I got the passenger seat out. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. You got a piece of plywood bolted to the floor. You have another piece of plywood on top of it to give it room for the slides. And then you have these aluminum slides, and the seat literally just slides into place. I don't know, I mean, there's nothing that actually keeps it there. So, I don't know if I'm a fan of that design. I mean, why wouldn't you just buy or make another one of these? I mean, this is such a simple design. You can actually reach under the seat with your toe and operate that lever while you're sliding the seat out. Huh. Okay. All right. I'm going to get the shop vac and a trash can. I said I was going to do that, but I kind of struggled. I wanted to get that seat out first. But now I'm going to go get the shop vac and the trash can. I got a clean filter for the shop vac over there. It's going to need it because a lot of this stuff is kind of yucky, wet, icky stuff. So I'll put a new filter in the shop vac and we'll go to sucking on this crap here. So, all right, going to get the shop vac. Be back. If I can suck up them leaves. I better just get that trash can. I better just set the trash can in here because there's just too much big crap in here, right? Let's see, 20% battery, 18-foot bass boat. All right, hold on, I gotta pause my Amazon playlist here because YouTube will ding me on a playlist that I pay for with Amazon Prime, right? Is that how that works? I think so. Let's talk about the bass boat today. I filmed a little bit of the first day that we ever worked on it. I think my buddy Brad was helping me, and we were just basically vacuuming out all the leaves and walnuts and crap that was in it. And so this is a 1988. I'll just remind you, it's the Ebbtide Dyna-Trak STE 181. You know, I don't know how many bass boats are left from 1988 that are in any kind of shape at all. I will say, was it in great shape? No, absolutely not. Was it in terrible shape? Probably. I hate to even admit that, but it's probably in terrible shape. But anyhow, it's a boat. It's gonna float. It's got the Mariner 150 hanging on the back, and the lower unit is sitting here on the floor. The dash, I've been stripping all the instruments out of it and everything. You know, typical things, wasp nest. The mice have been in the boat tremendously, and they have eaten the foam out of almost everything, you know. So I've been stripping the switches. You know, most of these switches are just, they're just junk. You can, if you can, I can't even move that one. That one moves okay, but it doesn't, nah, it felt like it broke. So it doesn't feel good. You know, things like that, everything has to go. This had oil injection on it, and I'm sorry for everybody that has differing opinions, but I'm losing it. I don't want it. I'll pre-mix the fuel. I like to fish, but seriously, 12 gallons. 12 gallons of fuel lasts me easily an entire day, if not 2 days of fishing. So I don't see the point in worrying about, you know, pre-mixing being a pain in the butt. So I've done it for my other boats, and it ain't gonna be any different for this one here. So this is the what is it, XR4 Magnum 2 version of the Mariner 150. They say a lot of these early Mariners like this were made by Yamaha. Anyhow, I don't know how you tell for sure. It's got triple carbs on it. It's not fuel injected. The carbs do say WH with no number afterwards. And I think on the forums I've heard good things about that and maybe bad things about that. I don't know. I pulled the main jets out at the bottom of the carb, and they were soupy, goopy. They weren't necessarily green, just goopy. So what do I think about the carbs? I think just some fresh fuel will clean the carbs out. And then just to be on the safe side, I already ordered needle and seats and gasket sets for all three carbs. So I did do the oil delete on it. There's the plug right there. Let's see. Let's talk about the lower unit for a minute here. So here's the old water tube right here. It's copper on these engines. This pipe is obviously somebody has just hacked it off with a hacksaw. It actually is just 1/2-inch copper pipe. This is the upper tube seal right here. There's a problem with that. You can't necessarily tell, but it's missing the upper lip on the seal. It should have an inner lip on the seal that prevents the pipe from going all the way through it, and it does not. So when you try to push this up into the top of the motor, the seal slides down the tube. Oh, here's something I forgot. I might as well put it on so I don't forget to put it on. This is called a slinger, and a lot of these older lower units like this, they have this slinger, and we're gonna slide it down, and it goes down on top of the impeller here, the housing, just like that. So that slinger should sit on the top of that new water pump housing. And so I replaced all the gaskets and the impeller. You know, when you take the top cover off and you take the impeller out, you got to remember that there's another layer of it that has to come out below that. And I mean, there's so many YouTube videos on it. You guys can watch that yourself. You don't need me to do another YouTube video on replacing the water pump on this. It looks just like some of the other videos that are on there. So here's the exhaust chamber. Okay, that goes down and comes out the center of the prop. So this center housing right here is basically the exhaust tube. What else they call it? Drive shaft housing slash exhaust tube. And I had people tell me that I could pull that exhaust tube off, and that would allow me access to put this in, which is the new water pipe and the new, okay, so here's the, sorry about the camera angle here. Here's the new upper seal. And I don't know if you can tell this, but when you put the tube in it, it mushrooms out in the middle. That should hold it in place really well. But they say the right way to put that in is to pull the power head off. Well, I came out here yesterday and I thought maybe I could pull that that exhaust tube off of there. And maybe I still could. But at this point, I don't know what's easier. If I pull the exhaust tube, I got to pull the motor mounts off of both sides. So it's got a cover here that has to come off. And then I suppose that just unbolts on the inside, and then you take the big nut off of there, and that all slides apart. And if I do that, and then you can see I got the nuts loose here on the split line for the drive shaft housing. So if I do that, I can take this piece off, and if I take it off, they say you might be able to take that upper seal, which is supposed to go in from the top, and they say you might be able to squeeze it into place and not have to pull the power head. But I think at this point, I don't know what difference it makes. The book says pull the power head to put the new seal in. So I've just decided I'm gonna pull the power head and I'm gonna put the new seal in. So the power head, there's a lifting adapter that threads into the top of the flywheel, and I ordered that on Amazon. I think I paid 14, 15 bucks for it. It should be here Monday. And I mean, everybody says the right way to do it is to pull the power head. So I talked to my local Mercury dealer the other day, and to lift the power head off and put that new rubber seal in there and set it back on, they want $1,000 to do that. And I've got a cherry picker, and now I've ordered that lifting adapter, so we're just gonna do that ourselves. We'll save $1,000, and that would go a long ways toward my new trolling motor. Okay, let's quit talking about the motor for a while. It's a pain in the butt. I just got a battery sitting here on the back because I've been running the motor up and down with the power tilt and trim, which does work just fine. Pretty excited about that. Okay, the back of the boat. I really don't know if that hole is factory or not, but I also don't know how else you would get to things like your live well valves in there, which are stuck. I ordered replacement valves. Can I get you closer? I'll have to probably get in the boat so I can get you down in there and show you that. Over here on the right hand side, that's where the oil tank used to sit. On that side were trolling motor batteries. It does have a 24-volt trolling motor system. And then the main well down there was for the built-in fuel tank that it had. And then the fan, because I've been trying to dry it out, the fan is just pointing toward the bilge area where the drain plug is. Okay. I have all the covers off right now. They're laying all over my garage. Just because I've been trying to vacuum out all the storage. That one right there. So I saw a cool lid the other day that had cup holders built into it. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna do that. So I think what I'm gonna do is just cut holes in the top of the lid. I don't know which lid that is, it's one of them there. And then I will either hop on Thingiverse or I'll just hop on Fusion 360 and make my own cup holders, and then I'll 3D print them, and then I'll just have it where they slide in through the cover, and maybe I'll put a couple screws in them to hold them in place. Okay, that's where the driver's seat used to be, and I got brand new seats in boxes. They're laying over there on the floor. Throttle control, Teleflex cables are, I don't know, not great. They're the original cables from 1987 is what's stamped on the cables, and thinking I'm gonna replace them. So the dash, obviously I pulled all the instruments out. Almost all of them were broken anyhow or didn't work anymore. And I started, I'll show you what I started to do here. I fabbed up a little panel, like a replacement panel here, that covers the holes, and I could put countersunk stainless screws in it, which, you know, would go across there and fill in the old dash panel. And I may still do that. I don't know, I might still do that. I mean, I printed this piece just to see if it was possible and see what it would, how that would turn out. However, let's go back to the dash for a minute. I still like the way the dash looks, and instead of what I did, I mean, I kind of want to use this dash again, just because I think it looks cool. And then all I would have to actually 3D print is some plugs, you know, for places that holes were cut through the dash that we're not going to use anymore. And then I would print new covers to go where the switches and the circuit breakers were. And because obviously we're not going back in with that kind of with those kind of gauges. I have a brand new water pressure gauge, and I'm actually going to mount it back by the motor. That's where it's going to go, and I'll make it so that I can still see it, you know, from the driver's seat. But I don't need to put that gauge up here in the dash. What I want in the dash is I want my depth finder, I want my fish finder, and I'm kind of tempted to do a lot of that maybe with just a new iPad that I would mount in the dash. So get a really nice iPad holder and put it in there. So I mean, fish and depth, and if you've got water pressure and water temperature, you know, that's on a 2-stroke motor, that's about all you really need. So when it comes to putting the new seats in, I am going to not do what they did before. They screwed the seats just into the fiberglass, and I'm actually going to cut some plywood bases and probably bond in there on top of the original fiberglass, so that I can just screw the seats into that. And I may just actually put it on with construction adhesive Gorilla makes some pretty darn good construction adhesive, and I think if I put them on there, I really can't see them going anywhere. So we talk about the floor. The floor was gone. I cut it out. We're getting ready to overlay this with a new sheet of marine plywood, and I gotta get my job today. I'm gonna cut the piece that goes in here, and then I'm gonna probably put at least 3 coats of Thompson's water seal on both sides of it, and we'll get it sealed up. Okay, so I ain't gonna show you the front, but I did let's walk over there for a minute. I got crap everywhere. Maybe this is a better view here where I cut the floor out. So when I'm done, that will be a solid, really nice, watertight, sealed floor. You know, you don't really need, I mean, I get it why they fiberglass these in, because you really don't want water into these compartments, even though they're full of foam. The way they're made, it's just hard for the water to actually get back out of these upper compartments here. You know, down in the center floor, sure, it's meant to go all the way back to the bilge area. Okay, storage lockers. I got the nasty carpet pulled out because the mice had chewed it all up. It was rotten. Anyhow, we're just gonna go back with a spray, like a rhino liner inside these storage lockers. No reason to do anything else in there. Okay, well, for today, that's just a quick update on where we're at on the bass boat. The lifting ring for the power head should be here on Monday, and I'll get the power head pulled off. And once I get it off, all I'm gonna do is just swing it off to the side about a foot, and that's all. It ain't going anywhere else, because I'm gonna change out that seal and the gasket underneath it, and then it goes right back on. And I'll be really excited about that, because then I can finally put the lower unit back on, and then put the carbs back together, put the gas tank in, fill it up with gas, and I'm excited to run this engine. I haven't run it yet. I did pull the spark plugs out the other day, and they looked fantastic. I don't foresee any other problems with this motor. But if we had to overhaul it, if we had to put some reed valves in it or something, it's no big deal. We'll take care of that. But I think it's going to be fine. So I'm optimistic. Let's just go that. We'll go there. Okay, so that's it for today. If I make some more progress on it today, I'll jump back on here and I'll show you what we did. So appreciate you watching. Can't say enough to thank you guys that do watch my videos. I don't get a lot of views, but I just haven't had a lot of time to dedicate to the channel. My YouTube channel certainly is not my full-time job. I bet most of you have figured that out by now. So I got a life, and I have a job that I am very, very busy at, but I like to share some of this stuff with you guys, because hey, a lot of you guys are doing the same thing. So appreciate it, and please like my videos if you like them. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Bye.